Wade is guarding Bryant. Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up at the buzzer. Banks it in! He banks in the three! And the Lakers win the game!
Happy winning on Wednesday. What's up, Insurance Syndicate? Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are excited to be here. You can tell that obviously I don't have Tony next to me, and we're really excited for this show. You guys probably know Elle Denning, who's sitting next to me, but they're in office, and I had to bring her on the podcast today. But again, happy winning on Wednesday. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. If you can, let us know in the comments that you can hear and see us. And make sure, drop those weekly wins in the comments. Even if you're catching the replay, drop them in there. We want to be able to celebrate y'all because that's what today is all about, is about those wins. And I don't care if it's a renter's policy or a final expense policy or Medicare. I don't even know if you can technically sell Medicare right now yet. I don't know. AP's coming up, Medicare, Medicaid. But drop those weekly wins in the comments. We want to be able to celebrate y'all. But real quick, before we get going, as always as well, shout out to Viva Virtual Solutions for being the main sponsor of the show. We appreciate everything you do. Shout out to Lily Davies, who's behind the scenes helping us produce all of the content that you guys see, all of our shorts, all the captions. She clips it up. She puts it out there. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. She actually created our TikTok channel as well. So shout out to Viva outside of everything that you're doing here within the Insurance Syndicate as well as within Clearview Insurance. And I know hundreds of other agents that are utilizing y'all on the virtual assistant side. So shout out to Viva. We appreciate y'all. But real quick, for those that don't maybe know who's sitting next to me, they run a much larger Facebook group than the one that you're tuning into right now. But I'll go ahead and just turn it over to you, Elle. Just let anybody that maybe hasn't seen Elle, give them a 30,000-foot overview of who you are.
Hello, Syndicate. I am so pumped to be in studio. I mean, we've been able to tune in virtually before, but it is cool to be sitting behind the desk here and seeing this setup. So thanks for having me in.
Absolutely.
I'm Elle Denning. I'm a co-founder of Jumpstart Go along with David Denning and Renee Cabrera. We run the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group. So primarily focus on marketing, organic social media marketing strategies for insurance agents inside of that group. If you're not part of it, would love to have you. We also work with agents and agency owners, helping them fire their lead vendors and replace paid lead strategies with organic lead strategies. So how to generate leads for free, baby.
Yes.
And we also, David and I have an insurance agency. We focus primarily on final expense. So yeah, excited to be on, excited to chat with you today, and always happy to be a part of the Syndicate. You guys provide so much value. The group is blowing up right now. It's like every other post that I'm seeing right now, I'm like, this is a Syndicate post. It's awesome.
Love it.
Love the conversations you guys are having.
Well, that's that. We can't do that without all of our members. So we appreciate y'all and all your contribution and the engagement. To Elle's point, we have been getting some pretty crazy engagement within the group. So thank you to all of our members. We appreciate y'all. But as always, before we get going into the actual show today, y'all, we are talking about really just the power of coaching, mentorship, self-improvement, as well as collaboration. You guys know that's what we're all about here within the Insurance Syndicate. It's disrupting the space through transparency of information shared, but ultimately through collaboration. And I can personally attest to collaboration with the Closers Click, with Marketing for Insurance Agents, with the Jumpstart Go team. collaboration and strategic partnerships are where it's at. So we've got some, you guys have probably seen too. I guess before we get into our weekly wins, go ahead, guys, start dropping those in the comments so we can celebrate you. We do have our content creation workshop coming up this Friday. So we're just a couple days away now. And it's already packed. It's crazy to see all the last minute tickets that have come in. I think we had 4 come through yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more of an intimate setting, but still around 20 people here at Syndicate HQ in Austin, Texas. Again, that's September 20th. So this Friday, we're kicking off at 8 a.m. morning meeting. And then it's the whole day. We are just showing y'all how to basically create content. You're going to actually get to sit behind this desk as well. If you're attending, we're going to help you guys create content. And then for all of our VIPs as well, we're taking y'all out on the town in Austin, Texas and shooting professional content. You got lapel mics, you got selfie sticks, you got ring lights. It's going to be an awesome time. So that is this Friday, guys. It's not too late, especially if you're here in the Austin area or even just in Texas. We're just a hop and a skip away. Lily, if you could drop that in the comments for me so you guys check that out. If you guys want to register or anything like that, feel free to message me if you have any questions. It's not too late. We would love to have you. But without further ado, you guys know what time it is. It's Winning on Wednesday, baby. It's time to drop those weekly wins. Drop them in the comments. Let's go. We want to celebrate you. It's those, weekly wins are important. I don't care how small or how big. So, Elle, go ahead and kick us off. What's a weekly win for you?
Ooh, okay. So being here in Austin for sure. We actually were out on the boat yesterday. So we got to see beautiful Lake Travis. I was like, this is Texas right now.
And that's when the water's down too. But yes.
So David and I are in town for a content creation workshop, which we're so pumped about. But also we're here for a mastermind event group that we've been a part of since 2017. Business owners that are in all different niches and spaces, all different types of businesses. And one of his mastermind members has a boat and took us out on the lake. So I learned how to wake surf. Yep. Yes. Yeah. So not wakeboarding, but where your feet are not like strapped into the board. And I got up on my first try.
Let's
go.
I
was really, really proud of myself.
Yeah. I don't know if my tall ass, I've never tried wake surfing. I don't know if I could. I feel like I'm just too freaking tall and lanky
have
for
that
shit.
Low center of gravity for sure. I was kind of feeling that too.
What's I guess the boat. So that's been favorite part of Austin so far. I know you guys only been here for about 24 hours.
Yeah,
so.
We just got in really late Monday night. It was actually technically Tuesday morning. So we spent the whole day on the boat and then we got together last night, got to hang out a little bit. And now we're in the office. So
full day of meetings, getting ready for, and I love you said mastermind. It's kind of tapping right into what we're going to be talking about today and just the power behind that, especially not just being in an insurance mastermind. I think that's super important as well. Shout out to Ryan Stuman, who's also going to be at the content creation workshop, just tapping into his network. And it's more just business owners, right? And not just all insurance, which I think there's a need for the insurance side of things for sure. So you can really level up in that craft and master the craft. But then it's so cool kind of getting into these other circles and the other networks and seeing how people run their businesses very similarly to how we run ours on the insurance side, but at the same time, like completely different, yet somehow it's coherent. I can always take some nuggets from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weekly win for me. Gosh, I got a lot of them. I'll stick to one. I mean, content creation workshop, I'm really excited. I think that's going to be kind of one of the first of its kind where we're really we're going in depth and recording content and taking people out in the field to shoot content. The speakers it's going to be an amazing day. But I sold some policies yesterday. Elle, actually, you guys do you remember when I first got out of production? And I remember that was like the hardest part for me was I really need to work on the company and I want to recruit and I want to build that side of things, but I can't do that and sell. But then selling was, well, if I'm not selling, then it was like just the hardest line to draw.
It's a really hard transition to make.
And I remember showing up to that closers click call and I was just like, all right, guys, I'm doing it. And I'm not selling. I'm sending it to everybody. And I remember that first month or two where, shit, this better work, right? And then here we are. But I did get back in the saddle yesterday and I sold. It was like right around 12 grand for cyber.
Let's go.
Yeah, cyber and E&O for my first policies back in quite a while. So that one felt good. Again, drop those weekly wins in the comments. I'm going to pop over here Let's see. I had a great time. Awesome job. What up, Todd? Tony. Oh, yes. NABIP golf tournament, too. That was a big success. Tony, I got to give you a shout out for that one. I had a lot of fun. I got to go out there. My team actually got second, too. I guess that maybe should be one of my weekly
There
wins
we go.
as well.
We got wins on wins on wins.
We do. All right. Well, without further ado, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Again, we're going to talk today about just the power behind coaching, mentorship, masterminds, self-improvement, and ultimately, again, collaboration. Because I think the whole reason that we go get this coaching, right? We go seek it out. We get this training. We level up. At the end of the day, and you guys hear me say it all the time, if you want to go fast, you do it alone. But if you want to go far, you do it with others.
That's right.
And the best place to find others to go far with you is within these masterminds or within these coaching programs or whatever that might look like. So, Elle, I know this is kind of broad, but I want to see where you go with it, and we'll just bounce off each other. What has really coaching and self-improvement and everything done for you and David and the Jumpstart Go team and everything y'all are doing with MFIA and Closers Click? Like, just talk about some of that. Maybe even talk about how much y'all have invested in yourself too. That was a big mindset shift for me. Anybody watching this, I'm sure you felt this, is the expense versus investment mindset, where everything was an expense. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can afford this. I don't know. But man, I couldn't afford to not afford it. Right. So just talk through some of that. Like, what has that done for y'all's business, your personal life, anything like that?
I would say at a very high level, every significant breakthrough that we've ever had, I can link back into coaching and mentorship. And it is such a broad thing. I think a lot of times people think, oh, mentorship, like you're hiring a mentor, a coach, like a person. But I think something that we really share as far as like aligned values is community, and that it's not just about a particular person and their knowledge and their background, which is invaluable, of course, to have people that have walked a path and have proven success and a track record and a blueprint that you can plug into. Like that there by itself, you have somebody that can show you something that works and you can just plug into that and repeat it inside of your business. Like that, I mean, we've had massive quantum leaps, 10x our business, being able to plug into blueprints like that. But that only sustains you for so long. It's the community and being able to plug into people that are also going through similar transitions and then also want the same things. So when you have like just being around people that are striving and like leveling up and they're just not satisfied staying where they are, that like you feed off of that energy and you're like, I want that too. Yeah, we're like working together. We're doing these things together. Even if your goals are different, the fact that you're like going together and that you're leveling up together, I think that ultimately has been what has sustained us in business, because it's hard. Like business is hard, you guys.
Yeah, put that in the comments if you guys have ever had a hard time in business.
Yeah, like
everybody comment.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. No matter what level you're at, like anytime you hit that, difficult time in your business, it's like there's the thoughts in the back of your mind, like, oh, am I doing it wrong? Like, am I cut out for this? Like, should I just do something easier? Should I do something more comfortable? But when you're with a community of people that are like, no, we're leveling up and we're on this journey together, that's really it for me. I mean, blueprint, mentorship, that's the tactical stuff. And then community and people, like, that's just the stuff that you can't even pay for that,
I got a good question for you though. How do you choose, or how do you know which blueprint to choose?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Because in this day and age,
there's a lot of blueprints
everybody's got a blueprint now, right? Where it's plug and play, man, and you'll make $1 million a year, and then it's you plug and play, and there's actually nothing even to plug into, right? How did y'all, I guess, kind of sort through that or filter it or find the right blueprint to plug into? Is that just a ton of due diligence? Is that maybe word of mouth and referrals? You knew people who were already a part of that blueprint, right? Like, how did y'all kind of figure that out? And I think that's important for anybody that's listening to, finding the right blueprint, because there are 1,000 blueprints out there, y'all. And sorry to say, 50% of them are probably just going to take your money, right? Or hit you with some roll up, or who, depending on the line of industry that you're in, right? There's a lot of blueprints to plug into. So how did y'all choose your blueprints?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it was word of mouth, truly, of like just connecting with people and having conversations with people. And again, going back into community, even before the blueprint, that's something that David and I have always sought out in our business. I think just because we're very relational and we really enjoy like truly connecting with people and having conversations with people on a kind of deeper level too. So it was definitely word of mouth for us. And then there's also been times that we've kind of strategically known, okay, we're going to put this focus on like marketing or sales or more like operationally, and we'll find mentors, or like we just hired somebody specifically for sales. Like we teach sales and we help, agents with sales, but for our own internal sales processes, we felt like bottlenecked in a certain area as far as sales. So we went and sought out somebody that was a consultant specifically to audit our entire sales process, to give us feedback and to rework that for us. So it's kind of like where we're at in the business and what we're looking for. We're also in this mastermind right now of where you have to be doing 7 figures inside of your business to get into the mastermind. And we're like the smallest potatoes.
Oh, but isn't that the best though? It's like, yes, I'm in the right room.
And so for us, that was the thinking. We've kind of been at the 7-figure mark now for probably about 3 years, I would say. And we really want to get to the next level. We want, and so we're like, well, if we want to get to the next level, we need to stop being, not need to stop, but we need to start putting emphasis on being in communities and around people that are doing multi 7 figures and 8-figure businesses, if that's where we want our business to go. So that's part of the thinking too, of like, who's in the community, who's part of the group, who are we going to be able to exchange ideas with? So,
that's pretty powerful though, because I mean, you guys have all heard it. It's a recurring theme within the group is you are the company that you keep.
Yes.
You want to make more than 7 figures, get around 8-figure earners.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there's also power to that too, where, some people might shy away from getting into that mastermind. Even if they are doing 7 figures, they don't want to be that small fish. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but no, that's the right pond for you, my man. Like, go be the small fish and grow. Like, because that's you again, we're talking about blueprints. You get to plug and play into those things. And that's kind of my 2 cents is it really is. I try to find people that are already within a network. You guys know me. I'm very community driven, very relationship driven. So a lot of the times I find these masterminds or these groups just because of other people that I've known. And well, hey, if he says this, then I trust him. So I'm in, right? And it goes back to even, joining Closers Click. And that was, when did you guys start Closers Click?
2020.
Was it really 4 years? Well, almost 5 years ago now.
Yeah. It was, we're coming up on year 5 on it. I can't believe it.
That is great. Well, so, and I want to stay there for a second. And all right, so we're actually going to stay here for a little bit, and then we'll get back into the self-improvement and the coaching and stuff. But this is wild, impressive, y'all. When did you start your insurance agency? Like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, we got licensed.
Okay, so they've had a 7-figure company for over 3 years now. If you guys heard Elle say that, you're like, wait, hold on, but the life insurance agency didn't start until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because they make 7 figures off of everything that they're doing through Facebook groups and their consulting and their coaching and their strategies. So even though I want to learn more a little bit about y'all and like, again, the power of the self-improvement and how much you guys have done to really take your business to the next level, I also want you to take some time to share with our members what y'all have done in the past 3 years with Jumpstart Go, with MFIA, with Closers Click, with Producers Academy, all the amazing stuff that you guys are doing over there. What are some things that you actually coach agents on? I know we quickly hinted at the organic social media strategies, which is a big piece of it, but you guys do way more than just, all right, here's how to post and where to post and fire your lead vendor. And that's great. But you guys do so much more than that. I remember when I joined, that accountability piece was everything for me. I kind of was already doing a lot of the things, but I had nobody to really, I had no sounding board.
Right.
And I think it's so important. We're talking about community, and that's where you thrive and where you stay, is where there's community. Talk through some of the things that you guys are doing and how you were able to literally create a 7-figure company before even starting your insurance agency?
Yeah, well, we have a background in marketing, so that's really where we come from. And our business partner comes from the insurance space, knows it very well, knows marketing specifically for insurance agents really, really well. When we met him, he was running ads for 200 State Farm agents,
Oh,
like pre-2020. This was probably like 2018, 2017. And
hmm.
so knows paid advertising very, very well. He was the one that really saw the need. Like, insurance agents need a lot of help with their marketing. You guys should really consider this like space. And so that's how it all kind of started for us. And 2020 launched the Closers Click, and definitely on marketing. It was a big piece of it because that's our background. But more than that is, and most of our clients will say, I think this is also what you're hinting at as well, is that we really take a comprehensive approach and we help our clients focus on whatever the lowest hanging fruit is inside of their business and really tackle that first so that
Hmm.
they're able to see ideally a double in production in 90 days or less. And if you're coming to us to talk to us about organic strategies, which is, most of our clients do, is what they see in our marketing, and that's what we're known for. But if I see, or, whoever is doing kind of the diagnostic in your business sees that you have a massive opportunity to capitalize, to maybe put some processes in place for cross-selling. This is something that I see all the time, especially
Yes.
with PNC agency owners. And I always ask them, how much of your book has been cross-sold? Oh, maybe 5-10% of the book has been sold life insurance or cross-sold. And I'm like, this is such a massive opportunity. You know how like easy
free
it is
money.
that we can put in just a simple cross-selling automation into your existing book of business. If you've got a book of clients, and we can capture sales out of that. I mean, we've had
Yes.
clients add over $20,000 in commissions a month just through a simple cross-selling process that nobody has helped them actually think through and structure and keep them accountable about, hey, how's it going setting those appointments? Like, you got calendar space open for it. You got an appointment setter like working those for you. So I would say like we're known for organic strategies, but I would say kind of like more conceptually, we help people be more profitable in what they're already doing. So if you are
Yep.
doing, paid advertising, like, and you feel like you're on that hamster wheel of like the commissions are just going out and into your marketing or lead generation. Well, that's not a sustainable way to run your business. We got to figure out how to bring more revenue into the business. So,
yep. I think you guys did this for me when I was in Closers Click. And again, that was years ago, which is crazy to think about. But I wanted to actually reference Tony Merwin. What's up, Tony? If you're watching, we appreciate you, brother. He this was 8% virtual a couple years ago now. And he was just talking about, how a lot of the times business owners, and it's like you're looking at your business like the car, right? And there's something wrong with the car. And your head is, you got the hood up, right? And you're all in the engine and you're all up in there. And sometimes your head is so far up the freaking engine
you can't
that
see it.
you got to take a step back. And it's like, oh shit, I just have a flat tire.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the power behind what y'all do and what you coach on, and again, it was for me, I could not like see the true potential. And now what I'm doing, I mean, I literally sent out like 4 franchise grab, and I'm just now like getting into the franchise world and everything. But I was just selling auto and home insurance.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And it kind of felt very hamster wheely, but it also was keeping the lights on. So then it's like, all right, next month. Okay, next month. All right, next month. And it was the hardest decision. But for having somebody else, again, sometimes you are gonna just have your freaking head stuck too far up the hood, right? And that's a nice way to put it, instead of up your ass, because that's a lot of the times too, where it's like it's ego and things like that. Sometimes you need somebody to call you out and tell you, hey, dude, you are missing this. And that again, it was y'all. But then the other big one for me was Cody Askin. Shout out to Cody, man.
Awesome.
And I remember going to that Power Players retreat. You guys have heard me talk about it. It's where I ultimately got connected with Tony, and now we run the insurance syndicate. We office together. We're best friends. Like, I mean, it's crazy what can happen from collaboration and investing.
One connection.
One room, one event, one connection changed literally like an entire like trajectory of my life and in the relationships that I have through that. But I remember going to that, to your point earlier. I mean, I was barely, I think, making six figures. Even, I don't even know if I was making six figures yet when I went to that thing. And I just was like, oh my gosh, like I am the smallest freaking dude. I was the tallest dude for sure, me and my dad, but man, I felt so small. I'm like, I don't even know if I should be in this room, which y'all, if you ever feel that, then you're in the freaking right
room.
you are in the right room. And that event, I remember, going and speaking. And then obviously I've been following Cody for a while then. And then it just came now. Then it came, okay, hey, if you want to talk about it, or are you going to be about it? And it was, I believe in what this guy's doing. I truly believe he can help us unlock this thing, but I'm still barely making, I don't even know if I was making six figures at the time. And it was all right, one-on-one coaching with this guy. He's built 5 or 6, 7-figure businesses. Why would I not want to have coaching or mentorship with him? Oh, but it's $30,000. And I was just like, oh shit. And this is y'all, the reason I kind of wanted to get to this point where sometimes you just got to go all in, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to believe in what you're doing. And I'll never regret that decision. Now, I will say there were some months where, like those first, I remember 3 to 4 months that we were going through it. It's like, oh shit. Like we just added this much more expense to our bottom line. By month 5, we had already made it back in sales through my recruiting side of things, because we're on the property and casualty. So that was when we were just getting our aggregator up and running. And then the rest is freaking history. And now I'm a business development director of a freaking national franchise in all 50 states. And we've got a whole team, and we just did over 2 million in new business sales last month as an organization. I sold 11,000 yesterday. Like I'm not even close to
day. That is amazing.
I'll take it. But I mean, again, just that one investment in myself. And that really is my words of encouragement. If you are uncomfortable in that room, David Goggins says it's best if it's uncomfortable, then it's the right move.
Yeah.
You're in the right place. So speaking, well, go ahead.
Actually, you touched on something that I think is so important, and it's like buyer's remorse when you're investing, especially when you're like 30 grand, like you're David and I've calculated it at the beginning of this year. I need to do a recalculation of it, but we've invested over $350,000 over the last 4 years.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Not this year.
Yeah.
But it's significant, amount of money. And, I find that I always have buyer's remorse. Do you always have just some level of buyer's remorse is like anytime you make a big investment like that?
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Mine always happens around the 4-week mark. Like I'm all in it. Like I'm ready. I'm good. And then around week 4, I'm like, oh my gosh, did we make the right decision? Like what if, and then the worst thought is like, what if I made a wrong decision for the direction or the trajectory of the business? That's the thing that I'm like, are we going down the wrong path? And so one of the things that I've now recognized in myself in 4 years of doing this and investing heavily in coaching and mentorship is that it just happens for me. It is like part of my process. And so what I do is I always reach out to my coach or the mentor, or I lean in instead of leaning out. And working with clients in coaching and mentorship, I just now tell them, I'm like, you're going to have a point where you're going to doubt if this decision was the right decision for you. It's totally normal. Or you get in the room, you're like, oh my gosh, should I be in this room? It's just part of the process. But it's also the time to lean in, not to lean out from those feelings. It's normal for everybody and in every way, because it's a lot of money and you're not seeing it right away. And we're so used to that microwave society. I want results instantly, that you really have to have that belief that, you're going in the right direction and you're with the right people on the right bus.
What business are we in? If you can understand the business model, then you'll be able to understand that a little. And I definitely have it. Yeah. I think it also, the business model is it doesn't happen overnight, y'all. We're in this for the long haul. So if I'm going to invest in it, then I got to know that, hey, I may not get rich overnight, but shoot, if I can even 2x, 3x what I'm doing a year from now, I'll take it. It makes sense, right? But I think also, it goes back to the blueprint piece. Sometimes I've been burned. y'all. And I think,
Same.
there's a lot out there where, yeah, the buyer's remorse is probably from past experience where, oh yeah, you got 200 trucking leads and 20 of them are filtered, like pre-qualified. And my average commission is $2,500 a rip and it's $5,000. And I'm like, all right, so I only need to sell like 2 of these. And the
Yeah.
first one, I'm like, oh, this is cush, man. I'm good to go. Go ahead and here's my $5,000, dude. I didn't ask anybody who this guy was. I didn't, and it was so funny. That's like my biggest strength, yet my biggest weakness is I will pull the trigger pretty damn quick. And then
You have
that
to
one,
move into action.
yes, and it's like it's my biggest strength yet. But then I learned that kind of to your point of, hey, when I know when I lean on people. It's like, hey, yo, dude, I got this really good opportunity, and then half the time I get talked out of it. And I'm like, why did I ever even think that was a good opportunity? But I mean, I've been burned for that
Yeah.
$5,000, right? And it's like, why did I not reach out? But then ultimately, I think the lesson learned in that
There's always a lesson.
ultimately propelled me into now, hey, we generate all of our own trucking leads at a national scale without having to lean on anybody for
Yeah.
that. So there's some power to those experiences and what you learn.
There's always a lesson. Even I've every single decision, I've just like reframed that as far as like, I don't make bad decisions. I mean, none of us want to make bad decisions.
Right.
Like, we all make the best decisions that we can with the information that we have at the time that we're making those decisions. And with this, it's like every time, it's like, even if it's like I've been burned, I've bought $18,000, $20,000 programs. And I'm like, this is not worth $18,000.
Right. Don't know until you get in though, right? It's like, shit.
But I learned, especially, as a coach consulting, I also learned like, I don't ever want my clients to feel like how I felt as a client going
that's
through
powerful.
that program. And that's a lesson that I learned of how we can improve, we can be better, how we can set expectations in the best way possible. So there's always a lesson to be learned, and we don't make bad decisions if we learn from those decisions that we made.
Got to learn. Got to take the lesson
learn.
from it, right?
Gotta learn.
I kind of want to pivot just a little bit here, and I know we've kind of already been talking about it when it just comes to the actual blueprints and the coaching groups and everything you're supposed to tap into. Again, where for you and for maybe let's say for a struggling agent, right? So obviously, hey, we've got the syndicate, we've got the forums and everything out there. Speak a little bit more to maybe so you said, I don't ever want our client to feel the way that I felt in that, which is very powerful for you running your mastermind and the things that you guys are doing. Where would you tell somebody to start? Like, how do they even start to have those conversations? Or, okay, hey, let's just call it a new insurance agent. I swear, the amount of people I've been running this show for so many years, and it's the past 3 weeks, people just blowing up my phone during the live freaking show. But say a new agent, let's say a year or two in, right? And we're struggling with sales. Like, what questions do they even start to ask? Where would you point them as far as, okay, here's the things you said earlier, the low hanging fruit. Where would you like direct them? Okay, hey, look, this is where you need to go. And this is the most important thing to tackle right now, because I think there's a ton of shiny objects. As we said earlier, there's a ton of blueprints where you, at the same time with the blueprints, right? So here's where you start, but the commitment is what changes everything.
Yeah.
That maybe, hey, there's $20,000 programs out there that people bail out on. It was probably a $20,000 program, but they didn't want to do, and I went through the clients community stuff. So they didn't want to go through the whole roadmap and the blueprint of your life and all this stuff. That's just so much more. Whoa, I thought I was just going to like make more sales. So I guess just speak to some of that. Like, how do you go about navigating those waters? And then ultimately, what does it take to really maximize, we'll call a program for a new agent that wants to sign up and change their business?
Yeah. So for agents that are just getting started or brand new into this business, like this business, it does not matter how you generate the lead or the conversation. You have to be talking to people. Like we talked about, like there's lots of different blueprints out there. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. But that's something that David and I focus on with our agents. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can generate conversations, leads, warm market, social media, centers of influence, like all different types of ways that you can do it. But at the end of the day, like if you've gotten to your end of the day and you haven't talked to anybody, then we got to fix that. Like that is the first problem that you have to fix inside of your business. How are you going to go talk to people? The more conversations that you have, the more presentations that you have, the more opportunities you have, the more shots
Right.
you have, the more opportunities you have to make sales. So that has to be the very first question that you answer. And I think that this is something that I see all the time, of that people just like spend so much time in preparation. Like they're
Yes.
preparing. They're
Mhm.
preparing to have the conversations. You need to have the lead management system set up,
My
the
script and
CRM.
my yeah.
I
Yep.
gotta be so perfect. And I was like, no, you take this framework and you go like, you go call Aunt Susie and be like, hey, Aunt Susie, can I practice my script with you? Like, I
Mhm.
got a brand new job. You and your husband, your wife, your kids, if they're old enough, like just like getting
The
in
reps.
action and
Mhm.
getting those reps is the thing. And then there is so much content and information out there. I would really find somebody that you feel like you resonate with. There's amazing content creators in this space. The
Mhm.
Syndicate is an incredible group. Uh, they're doing lives inside of this group every day, you guys, Monday through Friday. There's so much information to plug into just inside of this group. I know people are taking this information and implementing it and seeing results from it. That happens inside of our group. Like, you have the drive, you have the hustle, you have the target to go have conversations with people.
Mhm.
There's enough information out there that you can take that and you can implement that into getting started right away.
It's all at our fingertips. But how frustrating is it, Elle? And I'll see. I won't put you that much on the
Oh my
spot.
gosh.
But I know, but we have some builders in here. We've got some big team builders up in here with big downlines, and they've got big agencies and IMOs and FMOs, whatever you guys want to call it, right? Even on the PNC side, we've got people running aggregators and stuff in here. Um, how frustrating is it when, again, we have all of and this shit's free, y'all. You guys haven't even had to pay for anything yet. I might just have to monetize this group, and start
I
making some money. Elle
think
would probably
it's
like that.
time.
It's time.
Yeah.
Um, but how frustrating is it, even with all of this free information and the ability to literally scale their business without really spending a dime other than time, is one of my
Yeah.
favorite catchphrases.
Yeah. I love that.
How frustrating is it when they don't take advantage of it, right? Or when they take your time, and I've had this 1,000 times, I'm sure you have as well, where they take my time all day, or they listen to these shows and they comment and they do
Nothing.
nothing with it. And I know, as a builder, and I know for speaking to other builders here, with when you're recruiting, or even, hey, I spent 6 months bringing this person on, and then they just skated on me, right? Or they
Yeah.
want to release already, or they're already rolling up chart, whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I cannot. I mean, it's so frustrating. But also, again, lessons to be learned in that.
Mhm.
Talk through some of that, because you're not only running an agency, but you're also on the consulting coaching side of things, which I do, but more internally within the
Yeah.
organization versus an actual program or a course or a curriculum and everything that you guys have. How do you get through some of that? Or is there a way to combat that with when you see somebody starting to lean out versus leaning in? Is that
Yeah.
where you try to rope them back in? Or is it kind of like, man, it's kind of your responsibility to lean in? And I love what Coach Burt says, is I can't help you till you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail.
That's right. Yeah.
So where's that line of commitment where, oh man, they're this close, but then it's like I'm almost helping them more than they want it, and it's
Yeah.
like that's unhealthy. Uh, where are you at with that?
So I'm a process and operations person. So it's a process as far as and for our agents, every agent is provided the same onboarding experience. We have an agent success manager inside of our agency who's amazing. Like, we have a dedicated person for that. We have processes for onboarding. So I'm very big on, like, we have no idea when we get started with a client, with an agent, like, if they'll be successful or not, because I know that the process and the system works because
Mhm.
we've had
Right.
hundreds of people that have gone through it and had success with it. So the process is the same for
Mm.
every person. Of course, it's tailored to them or customized to them to some degree, but I am of the mindset of, like, you're offered the process of the same process of everybody else, and just like you said, you're committed to the process. I see you showing up. I see you working hard at this. And yeah, maybe it takes you a little bit longer. Maybe on the sales side, maybe you really got those marbles in your mouth and you're really, really nervous. Like, it's okay. We can work through that. That's a skill that we can develop. What I cannot do for you is I cannot put that level of commitment. I cannot put that hustle. I cannot put that drive. I cannot put that mindset into you. Like, that is you. You have to show up with that. So you come to the table with that, we will stick by you. Like, we are ride or die with our agents, with our clients. But if you come, you consume energy and time and resources, and then you do nothing with that, you take that, and then you don't put that back out into the world by taking action, then it's like that energy is just like dying.
Right.
Like, it's not going anywhere. You're not doing anything with it. So we're not going to keep putting that energy into you. This is especially true with agents as well that are just getting started, because they have, and I understand, they're new.
Right.
They don't know, but there also has to be a level of trusting us and trusting the process. So, I mean, it's a not easy conversation, but it is like, do you trust us? Like, do you trust this process, and do you trust us? Because if you do, just take the next step. You don't have to see all the way ahead. You don't have to see 2 years down the road. Like, we've got that for you.
Right.
All I need you to do is just take the next step. You trust us, take that step. So
we're not trying to
thing.
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
So many people, it's like, y'all, why would I reinvent the wheel when it's like, look at all these other agents are having success. And I did struggle with that, I think, when we were first really starting to build, where it was like, I was almost questioning whether it was, but then it was like, dude, I have enough proof of concept over here.
That's
Joe,
right.
stop questioning yourself. This shit works. They're probably just not working. Right. And I always struggled with that. I've gotten a lot better with it. But my heart was, I believe in this opportunity of insurance so much and what it can do for somebody's life, but it was almost unhealthy for me because I would want it so much more than they would.
You can't.
And I'll tell you, I have to give a shout out to them, to Eric, Jose, and Alex. Just two brothers and a friend up in Illinois. They're very quickly already pretty much our top riding agency. They've been with us for 3 months, 4 months. Now, here's the coolest part. I can't remember if I told you this story or not, but it was the best.
I have not.
They went through the trucking course. I didn't know any of this, right? I'd never actually met them or anything like that. And so they booked a call or something on my Calendly, and so we're talking shop, and I was like, okay, so like, what do you guys use? And they're like, oh yeah, we're using carrier software like DOT. I was like, oh no shit, okay, so am I. And I was like, okay, what CRM are you using? They're like, yeah, we're using a sales pipe. And I was like, wow, right on, so am I, dude. And they're like, yeah, and we've got a telemarketer through trained telemarketer that's dialing. I was like, all right, what the hell's going on, dude? Because this is exactly what was in that course. And they're like, oh yeah, we bought your course. And I was just like, damn, dude. But what's so cool about that is them trusting that process now brought them to an opportunity with Clearview, which then ultimately brought them to my plate, where it's like, damn, these are some really solid guys doing everything the right way. And it's so reassuring because I know they're doing everything the right way because they're doing exactly what I freaking am doing too.
Right.
And it was so cool. Shout out to you guys. I think they've already written like 300,000-400,000 this month.
Go. That's amazing.
They are a huge contribution.
Trusting the process.
Just trust the process. And it all it was, and it wasn't even a crazy investment in themselves. We weren't even that course wasn't even anything crazy. And so yeah, shout out to them. I just think it's really cool. You got to be kidding me. I mean, guys, I'm going to just turn my phone off now for people to not be able to call me while I'm freaking doing this live show. But yeah, shout out to them. It's really cool to see that when people do plug and play into the blueprint, they actually commit to it. Yes. They trust the process. And what I do on that side of things, I mean, it's heavy outbound. You're going to have to pick up the phone and to see that. But then now I can speak to it so much. I'm like, look at the last people that just went through, the course. And it's like, they're doing 300,000-400,000. It's just a 3-man shop and a virtual assistant. So it's really cool to see people when they actually do tap into that. And it can be difficult, right? It is. Man, you see the potential in people and it's like, come on, man. Yeah. But you can't want it more than them.
That's right. And so this probably sounds kind of terrible to say on the agency side, but we know this kind of as truth, and this is how we consult people that are building agencies as well, is that it is like it is a little bit of a numbers game. Like, not every agent that
Yeah.
comes into your agency is going to be successful. Like, you have that proven blueprint, and this is something too that we'll tell people, as far as like, of the blueprint works, but the percentage of people that commit into this and plug into it is about 30%. So the question is like, are you going to be of that 30% that has success with this or not? So I think that's part of it too. I don't know who said this, but it is something that has just really stuck with me on the building side, of that recruitment solves everything, as far as increasing the number of people that are coming into the agency. As long as you have that proven process to plug people into, having people come in and finding those right fit people are so key. That are a fit for your agency, going to plug in and be those high performers and producers, and potentially build their own teams if that's something that they want. So that's something that we've really anchored into on the building and recruitment side, of knowing we've got a good process and a system, and giving that process and system to every person. If they want it, we're there for them. But also knowing that it's about 30% of the agents that are actually going to come in and really start writing and making real money inside of the agency as well.
Kind of look at the blueprint as like this play set that I bought my kids. I can't remember. Was it from freaking Walmart? It had to have been. I'm pretty sure it was Walmart, but it damn near reminded me of IKEA, because you guys know it. I'm like, this little kid's play set. Okay, it's not going to take me that long.
Did it have an Allen wrench?
An Allen wrench and 175 different bolts, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is just a kid's play set. What are we? And the reason I bring that up, are you the agent that gets it and you're like, oh my gosh, and it literally took me like 7 hours to set up this little play set. You saw last night, thing ain't anything to write home about. And it took me damn forever, and I got freaking pissed. And I remember I used the one wrong freaking button. I had to undo it.
Screw.
But so are you the agent, right, that either skips it, screw this, man, I'll just put this shit together, and then but halfway through you're like, damn, I don't have the pieces that I need because you cut the corners, right? Or is it, oh man, there's that one, and I know it's supposed to be this one, but screw it, I'll just keep going. And then what do you know, like 2 hours, now I'm almost done. And then the last piece to like connect the swing set to the slide is like, oh, that's the one that I already put like 2 hours ago, right? Because you're cutting the corners, you're missing it.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of agents. I get that you want it now. I get that you're hungry, but like, don't miss the steps, right? Yeah. Like, don't skip the steps, definitely, because there's a reason that there are steps, that there is a process, and it's proven. So don't try to rewrite the story, right? So I love it. This has been awesome. I can't believe we're already at 50 minutes. I could keep going.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Cruising. Real quick, Elle, for content creation workshop. I know I touched on it already. If you could just do a quick recap of just what the day is going to be on Friday. Yes. We do actually have a bonus workshop tomorrow here at Syndicate HQ as well, but I'll let you kind of cover some of those details, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Yeah, so content creation workshop here at Syndicate HQ that we are broadcasting live from right now. It's going to be an amazing day that is going to be really packed for you guys, but in a way that we've designed this so that you're creating and actually going to be leaving the workshop with content. So we're estimating about 6 months worth of content between filming everything that we're going to film and create together in studio and out and about. And then we're going to show you how to repurpose that content into short form video using AI tools, which is going to be super cool. So Friday is going to be filming. We're going to be working with you on developing the content, creating ideas. Actually filming right here in studio for our VIPs. You guys are going to be heading out and about. We're going to take you around the city. We're going to capture awesome like B-roll, and it's going to add a lot of like a vibe and some variety into your content, which is really great. And then we've got the after party on Friday evening. And then Tony is hosting a, can I say kick-ass?
Yeah.
Kick-ass half-day workshop on Thursday. So
Tomorrow.
ahead
Ooh.
of, I can't believe it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ahead of the workshop. And he is going to be really working with people on public speaking, confidence, and really kind of getting people in the right mindset, and also giving them strategies for feeling comfortable getting on video. So if you feel kind of uncomfortable on video, then that's going to be something to plug into. So that'll kick off at noon Central tomorrow, Thursday. And then Friday is going to be a full day content creation. You guys are going to leave with some sweet pieces of content. I'm so pumped for it.
And a ton of, well, what were we talking about today too? Kind of the theme is collaboration.
Yes.
There's no, especially when it comes to content, it's just like public speaking. It's like one of the number one fears of people like in the world, right? Is public speaking. Getting behind the camera is pretty damn similar. It's almost, honestly, in my opinion, it's almost more challenging. I can't see any of y'all's faces. It's way easier to speak from a stage, in my opinion. But I get there's that crippling fear there. But when you have others around you that have that fear, and you guys all get to overcome it together, it's so powerful to be able to do that in a community environment, in just a group setting. I think it really helps with the confidence. And I know for me, I'm going to be doing a small segment through Tony's public speaking workshop, but just getting over that hump. Remove the quality, remove the video. Like, I remember I tell everybody this, David Carruthers said it, and literally he said it live on the show. He's like, dude, you look like you're in a 7-Eleven at 3 a.m. I mean, my quality used to be so shit, but you know what? I'm on, right? And I'm doing it. And we're running this show. Remove all of that, but just getting over that hump of just doing it. We've been running Winning on Wednesday. Now, we were just talking about it for like over 3 years. I mean, I can't tell you how many hundreds of, I think we're up to 100. We've missed one Wednesday. We're like up to 160 or something like episodes. I don't, just on Winning on Wednesday. It's ridiculous. But we didn't start like this. We didn't have these nice mics and sound all crispy. It was like Tony had his earbuds and I had my Jabra headset that actually just crapped out on me last week. It was the OG Jabra.
Oh, I remember when you got that thing.
I know, the OG. But no, it's, again, y'all, content creation workshop. We are doing the public speaking workshop tomorrow as well. It's a bonus add-on. And again, the collaboration and the networking, we've got a free lunch for everybody that's attending. And then that Syndicate HQ after party. If anybody went to our grand opening, which we technically had like 2 grand openings because we had one for agents and there was a training, and then we had one for clients as well. We threw a pretty sick party. We're going to have some fun things going on in the bullpen. We're going to have cornhole, a bunch of food, drinks, games, and just, again, networking and people hanging out that are all like-minded, that are all in the room for the same common goal, which is, again, very powerful when you're trying to level up and scale things in your business. So, y'all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Real quick before we wrap up, Elle, if people want to reach out to you, how can they find you? Maybe highlight the group again one more time.
Yeah, Facebook. You're watching this on Facebook, so connect with me, Elle Denning, on Facebook, and then you can also, in that search bar, put marketing for insurance agents, and the group will come up. Definitely recommend joining that if you want to level up on marketing, and especially organic lead generation. Also, we're very big about community as well, connecting with each other. We really work hard to make sure that group is focused on quality posts, as well as like no recruiting, no name calling, no company bashing,
no drama.
So if you're really looking for a space like that to exchange ideas on marketing, that's a great place to join.
Which is tough as shit to do. Y'all, we're only up to like 8,300 members. They got like 36,000 members. And that's tough to monitor and keep that community as strong as it is. I have to give y'all a shout out. Y'all's Monday show is popping. Anytime that I have time to hop on that Monday live, you guys always drop just killer value. So again, y'all, it's marketing for insurance agents. We love to support them. They're huge supporters of Syndicate. Definitely check out a group. It's one of the good ones. It's one of the blueprints you should look at, coming from somebody who has tapped into that blueprint and has been for years. Definitely check them out. They're always dropping good value. And really, again, just they care about the agent. So y'all, content creation workshop this Friday. We want to see you. Message me if you have any questions. You can hit up Lily. Lily's dropping, I believe, that link in the comments. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have anything. But y'all, it's Winning on Wednesday. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Insurance Syndicate. It is the peak of the week. keep your foot on the pedal, right? Let's put some gas on it. Let's get the fire on the fuel and finish out the week strong, and hope to see you guys here at Syndicate HQ on Friday. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.